To be sure, some of the updates the Xbox One X has gotten in terms of games have been better than others, and this really goes along those lines. There's an interesting article, and I'm going to go over it with you guys because it's interesting because it points out how some developers are really put to shame by others in terms of what they were investing in terms of the update themselves for Xbox One X, and this is even for PS4 Pro as well. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you guys for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. So again, this article, really nice read. CD Projekt Red's Xbox One X support shames major publishers, raking in a lot more money with their games. And so, although it might be hard to understand what it's about right from the outset with the title, it just talks about the update that the Xbox One X gets. So it says, more recent on Xbox One X pack, which is truly remarkable, possibly delivering the best visuals yet for the game when factoring in the HDR support, a first for The Witcher 3. 4K mode delivers a stable, essentially stutter-free 30 frames per second experience in the most taxing areas. Not only The Witcher 3 on Xbox 3 looks sharper than it ever did on consoles, it also provides higher quality shadows and higher resolution textures on top of the improvements already seen on the PS4 Pro. And then they show some things like that. You guys have already seen some incredible Witcher footage. Not content with just delivering a 4K mode, they also added a performance mode that unlocks frame rates up to 60 frames per second on the Xbox One X while lowering the resolution dynamically as needed. 4K mode, of course, is actually more stable if you dislike frame rate variation, but it's nonetheless great to have a performance option. It is mind-boggling to consider how CD Projekt Red could do this for the community, even though their game isn't really being updated anymore, while major multiplayer titles are still missing their upgrade. This is the point that he brings up, and it's a brilliant point. Rockstar's GTA's Online, EA's Battlefield 1, and Ubisoft's Rainbow Six Siege are prime suspects. These games are still raking in millions upon millions in revenue between DLC, season passes, and microtransactions, despite having launched years ago. What's more frustrating is knowing the smaller developers have often talked about how easy it was to get their games running on the Xbox One X, with it actually receiving praise for its software development kit for these massive studios. It should be child's play, really. They say let's begin with EA's Battlefield 1, which is the minor offender on the list. That's because it actually launched with PS4 Pro support last year. Of course, the Xbox One X support has yet to come. It's been 2 months since the launch of the Xbox One X, and Battlefield 1 developers have been completely silent on whether the game will ever be properly enhanced for the new machine, which is really disappointing for Xbox One X fans, especially those who have recently purchased Battlefield 1 Revolution, which is the new expansion, which consists of the base game and 4 expansions, including in the Premium Pass. It's doubly a shame since DICE have already supported Xbox One X with this year's Star Wars Battlefront 2 game, which looks absolutely amazing. Rainbow Six Siege is another major multiplayer first-person shooter whose support for the enhanced console and Sony's console is AWOL. While the latest installment of the tactical first-person shooter franchise didn't make a big splash when it debuted 2 years ago, it eventually became Ubisoft's banner title for their game-as-a-service model. So last week, or a few weeks ago, they reported over 25 million players, and they're already selling a year 3 pass, but there's no word on updates for anything yet. Also, Grand Theft Auto 5 is now the best-selling game of all time in the US when combining physical and digital sales. I can actually understand why they probably aren't updating it, though, since, well, you know, it's a little bit harder to understand why they don't update it on the Xbox One X, since they can just use the same type of assets that the PC version uses. For me personally, I do understand that one a little bit more, since they're probably busy hard at work on the next game. But it does bring up an interesting question. How can a game like The Witcher 3, which has been out as a single-player experience, they're not making any more money off that, but how can that be updated to look so great when some of these games that are making millions and millions and millions, they're not updated at all? It's a great question, and it does put some of these developers in shame, in my opinion. I would love to get your guys' thoughts, though. Let me know what you think. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. Like I said, I will put this article in the description so you guys can check it out. Let me know. It's interesting. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.